everyone! So I've bought quite a few books in the past month and a bit, and so I thought I would do a haul because I've got like a stack of books beside me, and I went to some used bookstores and actually bought books and stuff, so I thought it would be kind of fun to do a little haul. So the first book is one that I bought online, and this is actually part of my BookTube recommends. I got this really cheap, and it is William Trevor's The Story of Lucy Galt. I don't really know what this is about. This is one of my BookTube recommends for later on in the year, but I got it for like a cent off of Amazon Marketplace. This was recommended to me by Tanya over at List Obsessed Reader. And yeah, so I was kind of looking through all the books that I had to still purchase for BookTube recommends, and I saw that this one was really cheap and some of the other ones were more expensive, so I picked this one up because, you know, buying cheap books is always good. The next three were actually sent to me by Penguin Canada, and they contacted me, and I'm planning on doing a Shakespeare week in anticipation of the Shakespeare Saturday that's coming up for Books in My Bag. So this is part of it, and I requested these, and they are the Hogarth Shakespeare. So the first one is The Gap of Time by Jeanette Winterson, which is a retelling of A Winter's Tale. So I've actually read this one, and I've read A Winter's Tale in preparation for that. So I'm not going to talk too much about this because I will have reviews and talking about this up. I will say it was really enjoyable. Also, this one, unlike all the other ones, this one has beautiful end papers. And I was really excited because this was the first one I was reading. I was like, oh, it's got such nice end papers. I was really, really excited. None of the other ones have nice end papers, so that was a bit of a disappointment. The next one is Shylock Is My Name by Howard Jacobson. This and The Gap of Time are actually published. The next one that I'm going to show you is an advanced reader's copy, so it's not out yet. It's kind of got this great fluorescent coloring on it. I really like the book design. This is a retelling of The Merchant of Venice, so I have to get on reading The Merchant of Venice and then read this. So I'll be doing that in the next week or so. And then finally, I have Anne Taylor's Vinegar Girl, which is a retelling of The Taming of the Shrew. I will be able to just dive right into this, so I might actually get to this before The Merchant of Venice, because I have seen and read The Taming of the Shrew. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this one. This one's not out yet, so I just have a proof copy. So I also ordered some Thomas Hardy novels just because Anne, Jami, and I have been working through them so quickly, and because we're taking a break, I thought I'd buy a couple and get kind of, you know, a few in my bookshelf that I know I'm going to get to eventually. So I picked up a Laodicean by Thomas Hardy. I'm not sure if this is the Penguin Boxbind edition, which is the only one that it comes in, but it's I don't know if you guys can see that. It's much shinier than the regular ones, and the spine is shiny, which I don't love, and it's a lot floppier. I think I've talked to Yamini about this, and I think it's actually an American edition. I think that the American editions are much floppier and less stiff than British and Canadian editions. So I mean, it's okay. It's not a deal breaker, but it's just something that I'm not as fond of. I got this from Amazon, so that's why. And then I also ordered A Pair of Blue Eyes, which I don't know what this is about, but it's Hardy, and I'm gonna get to it. And we discussed which ones we were gonna try and get while we were taking our break. So A Pair of Blue Eyes was that as well. And then I also got Desperate Remedies. Unfortunately, there is no existing collection of Thomas Hardy works by the same publisher, which is really frustrating, which we found out. So I have half my collection in Penguin English Library. I've got a few in Oxford World Classics, and then I'm also going to have some in the Penguin Black Spine, which really irritates me. I really like having them kind of existing together, but oh well. I will live with having all my Hardys not matching, which means they probably won't be on the same shelf, because I like to have all my Black Spines together and all my Oxford World Classics together, because I think it looks more cohesive for decorating. I know that's kind of a weird way, but it just makes your bookshelf look so much nicer. But yeah, so those are some of the Hardys I bought. So the next couple, I was in Toronto, and I went to my favorite bookstore, B&V. I didn't buy that much. Be impressed, guys. And I'm also realizing, nope, I didn't forget one. I thought I left it on the shelf there. I only bought 4 books, which is pretty impressive. It was pretty picked over, and the editions that I saw of things that I wanted weren't quite in the quality. I think I definitely prefer buying used books in person. I've really struggled with buying them online. I've had Like this past month I bought 5 Balzac books and every single one of them was the wrong edition. And I buy according to the ISBN and they were like 2 or 3 older editions, and like just that I would buy like new quality and it would come and like the spines would be cracked and like it was just awful. So I've kind of given up on buying used books online. Hopefully when I move to like a bigger city I will have a chance to actually, you know, buy some books and like in person. It's just unfortunately right now I'm living in a fairly rural area, so online book shopping tends to be like my main source of being able to get books, and it really bums me out that I can't buy used books because I love buying used books. But so I was really excited to go to Toronto and get some. So I ended up getting The Distracted Preacher by Thomas Hardy. As you guys know, I love Hardy. I found this in the Melville Art of the Novella, which I actually really like these editions. I had some issues with the subscription service a couple of years ago and actually did a whole post on that. And like they were really slow with shipping, but I've since resubscribed and I actually have been getting my books on time. So they have changed it though. You no longer get a tote bag, which I was really disappointed about. But yeah, so this is a Thomas Hardy novel and it was only like $6 as opposed to I think the retail price is like $11 Canadian. And it's in pretty good condition. It's got a little bit of marking on the back, which I just noticed, but like the spine's intact and the pages are intact. So it's basically what I look for in my used books. Next up, I got an Emile Zola book, which is Germinal. I got it in the Black Spine edition, which spine is lovely and intact, which is what I'm looking for when I'm buying used books. And once again, this was like only $6. So for a pretty much brand new copy, I don't know what this is about and I probably won't get to it anytime soon, but because it's fairly thick and I do have another Zola that I should read before this. I've started The Fortune of the Rougon and set it aside just because I wasn't in the mood for it. So I should be reading this at some point, but I just I saw it was in good condition, it was really cheap, and thought, why not? And then I also got Plautus, The Pot of Gold and Other Plays. I have read The Brothers Menaechmus in this collection. This collection has Pot of Gold, The Prisoners, The Brothers Menaechmus, The Swaggering Soldier, and Pseudolus. I think that's how you say it. It's a fairly good bind up. I really enjoyed The Brothers Menaechmus, which is also what A Comedy of Errors by Shakespeare is based on. So if you are interested in how Shakespeare adapts ancient works to his own, he does that a lot, and Plautus was one of them, which is Plautus actually reinterpreted an older Greek play. He's a Latin playwright, but he's really funny. He's a very comedic playwright, so I'm really eager to read some more of these, and this was really cheap. I think it was like $4, so, you know, might as well pick up some ancient lit. And then the last one that I got is Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. I want to read some more Defoe because all I've read is Moll Flanders, and I didn't love it, but I actually want to reread Moll Flanders because Ron over at Ron Lit absolutely loves it and sings its praises, so I want to give it another chance. But they had this Penguin English Library in the rubbery edition and it was only like $5, so I picked it up, and I will get to it eventually. Like it's pretty much brand new, like it still has the penguin insert in it, so yeah, I was pretty happy with that find. And then I did one more online used buy, and that is Colette's Claudine at School. This is not in the Besk edition. I got this off Abe Books. I'm kind of okay with that. It's like, actually I'm just noticing now, there's like folded pages and there's some marking on the cover and the cover is a bit folded back, but I haven't read any Colette yet and it was much cheaper and I really like this edition, and it wasn't available to buy new, so I picked this up and I'm intending on reading this. I don't really know what this is about. I was talking about this with Ange and Yamini, and they really like Colette as an author, so I thought that this would be a good place to start with her. Next up, the final books that I bought were from Amazon, and I had such bad experiences with the used books and I ended up getting a bunch of refunds, and so I figured I would use it to buy some books that I had my eyes on. So I got The Sorrows of Young Werther. I think it's Werther because he's a German author and they pronounce their W's like V's, by Goethe. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I did look up how to pronounce that and it weirdly has like an R but kind of not sound in it. which is a really slim volume, and I was talking about this with Yamini and Hinge, of course, and I think we all agreed we wanted to read this. It's basically just this, it's set in an idyllic German village where a sensitive and romantic young man meets and falls in love with the sweet-natured Lottie. So I'm really looking forward to reading that. I haven't read a lot of German literature, so I want to get some more in, so I thought I would start there. And it was fairly cheap, even like brand new from Amazon. I think it was like $10, so. And then I also got a French one, which it's slightly banged up, and I'm noticing this now, and it is Stendhal's The Red and the Black. I got this because Yamini rated it 5 stars and said it was amazing, so it was pretty cheap, and I picked it up, and the font's a little small in this edition, so I don't know if there's a better edition out there, but you know, it was like under $10, and I was like, yeah, I want to read it. I'll get to it at some point. And then the final one I got is one that's been on my wish list for ages, and it is the Penguin Book of Romantic Poetry. I didn't know when I was buying this is not ordered chronologically, which is how I generally prefer these like omnibuses of certain periods of poetry. It's done by theme, and like, so it's got the romantic hallmarks is one, narrations of love, romantic solitude, suffering and endurance, ennobling interchange, man and nature. Like it's kind of weirdly set up, so like authors are split up, which I don't like. Like I'd rather have it be done by author, so you get like a short summary. Like I like the Norton anthologies where you get like the author and you get a short biography and some contextual stuff, and then you get all the works. So I'm a little disappointed with this one, but I'm gonna keep it. It's quite hefty. I think it's like 1,000 pages of poetry and notes on poetry, so it'll be fun. I'm not, you know, the biggest reader of poetry, but I like the Romantic period, and so I thought I would pick that up. So those are some books that I have bought in the past month or so. I think some of them might have been from February, but they took a while to get to me. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have any tips for buying used books online, because I have the worst luck. Like absolutely the worst luck. Like 5 out of 5 of my purchases from Amazon Marketplace this month turned out crap. And like I ended up having to complain, and like they weren't in the condition that they said they were. And like all these sellers had really good ratings. Like that's what I look for, is like, what is this seller's rating? And it was an awful experience. But so if you guys have any experience in that, and letting me know, do you prefer Amazon Marketplace? Do you prefer AbeBooks? And I will see you guys in another video. Bye.